You know, you could almost say the golden rule of credit cards is start with Chase. That's right, we've been taught to revere, respect, and even fear Chase's 524 rule. But is it really worth all that reverence? All that hoopla? I like using hoopla. But is it worth all that stuff? I don't think so. Let's talk about it. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Mike's Travels and Cents, where I go over points and travel strategies, and more importantly, how not to go broke while enjoying it all. If that sounds good to you, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss future content like this. And if you found some value in this video, drop me a like to let me know. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. I realized that on the mobile version of YouTube, the like button is actually on this side, so yeah, it kind of throws it off, but I'll keep doing it. I'm pretty much invested into that motion at this point. Let me start this out by saying Happy Father's Day, which is when I'm recording this video. Shouts out to you and the role we play in our kids' lives.
I am your father.
I love my little one, and I do a lot of what I do for him, and obviously just for my family at large. But yeah, Happy Father's Day to all the fathers watching this video. But what we're here to talk about, 524. And before I actually jump into that, I promise this won't be a super long intro. But before I jump into that, I will hold true to my word on the subscriber shout outs. But thankfully, growing YouTube problems, I've actually gotten a lot of subscribers since my last video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shout out all of my new subscribers, but I'm gonna save it to the end. I promise I'm gonna do it. And I really appreciate you guys for subscribing. I really, really do. Can't really express how much that means to me that you guys wanna keep catching content like this, and I promise I'll keep improving, keep getting it better. But let's get straight into it. So I don't think 524 is as hot as it used to be, honestly. And I think this whole pandemic thing is really kind of exposing that, because it's really, really restricting. So one of the biggest things that I've noticed about 524 and its impact is that it makes you really, really vulnerable to other credit card companies that are sensitive to basically like high velocity, or basically just having a lot of credit accounts open. So if you go to something like Capital One and you've went through all your credit cards with Chase, and let's say you've only gotten 5 credit cards, now you have to go to them with all these credit cards. And if a credit card company is sensitive to people that have been opening a lot of accounts in the past, it makes you that more vulnerable to get denied, because you started off with Chase, and so now you're X'd out of all these credit card companies that don't want people with a lot of credit history. And not only that, there's also the opportunity cost of focusing on Chase. So I know the thing is, 524 is the most limited, so you might as well start with Chase. But realistically, what you're saying is that what Chase has to offer is better than what everyone else has to offer at this very moment, because you're foregoing something that could potentially be better for something that's not actually, like 524 isn't a permanent death sentence or something like that. Like, you only get those 5 cards and you can never come back to Chase. But you're foregoing starting those clocks on like some of those hotel cards, where you don't get that first night in the first year that you have the card. You have to wait an entire year. So you're foregoing on things like that. And myself, for a prime example, I've actually missed out on what could really be a great opportunity for me as somebody in the military who doesn't have to worry about annual fees. I could have had a decent number more of credit cards if I wasn't so focused on Chase. So right now there are a couple of credit cards that are converting their travel credits into things like restaurant credits and grocery store credits. And the Bonvoy Brilliant with that, I think that's a $300 travel credit that's now converted to, I think, restaurants. The City Prestige. I have the Sapphire Reserve, but my $300 credit hasn't reset, and that's the only credit card I have with a credit that's been converted right now. So the Hilton Aspire card as well. So I've missed out on getting those cards because I've been focused on Chase. And now when I could potentially have a bunch of cards that can give me a lot of credits towards restaurant and groceries, I don't have those cards because I was so focused on Chase. And to be honest, I think Chase has some good cards, but can you really argue that they have 5 credit cards that are worth missing out on every other credit card issuer? I don't think so. I think you can definitely go into it and probably get away with 3 credit cards and then just circle back for the rest. At best, I don't think there's 5 credit cards that Chase has that's really worth missing out on every other credit card and forgoing that cost of time. It's really like sticking around high school when you should be in college at this point.
You peaked in high school, motherfucker.
And this is really frustrating because a lot of people encourage you to burn one of those slots with a freaking Freedom card, which I think is a bad move. I don't think the Freedom cards are really all that, to be honest. I don't like rotating category cards. I've made that very obvious in some of my other videos. I don't like rotating category cards. I don't like dynamics of cards that I can't control. I like to be able to know that I can use this card for this specific purpose. So I don't think the Freedom cards are worth it. What I would do if I was starting over is I would build up my credit. I would build up my credit some other way. There are plenty of ways to kind of build up credit. So like Affirm or basically like these other things on the internet where you can pretty much like put something on a line of credit and pay it off. So purchases of all kinds of things. So you can do that, build up your credit, because they do actually report to the credit bureau. So you can build up your credit off things like that and then go to Chase with a decent credit score. And though I'm not the biggest fan of the Sapphire Preferred, you can start with the Sapphire Preferred and then just upgrade to the Sapphire Reserve once your credit score is a bit better. That's what I would do. I would not jump into the Freedom cards. So yeah, ultimately, I think 524 is a bit overrated at this point, and I'm not gonna flat out tell people not to adhere to Chase 524 because I do think Chase is a good place to start, but I think it isn't as like default as it has been in the past, or it's definitely presented to people as like you must adhere to 524. I think if you want to do 3 cards and move on, I think that's perfectly fine. Personally, I only have the United Infinite Plus card, the Sapphire Reserve, and then I pivoted to one business card. I'm gonna get the Hyatt card, and then I'm probably just gonna hightail it out of Chase because, like I said, I've already kind of burned myself on some cards that I could have had, and now I'm missing out on those grocery and restaurant credits. But now we're at the end of the video, and it's time for the subscriber shout out. And some of these subscribers that I'm gonna be reading off my phone are from a little bit further from other videos, but I never did the shout out for those people, so now's the time. Let's get it going. So, subscriber shout outs to C. Scott 5389, Lewis 2000, Chad Auer, I think that's how you pronounce it, Josette Covington, Antonio Blanco, Nike 3410, Crypto Student, Rajan Karan, Mr. Sassy Flamingo, Eric Morrison, the Melly Miguel, and Dawit Rumicha. Thank you all for subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna continue to improve this content. You know, do whatever I can to make this not only informative but entertaining, because credit cards and travel and everything should be fun. It should be enjoyable, and that's what I want to bring to this channel. So thank you all, and as always, if you found some value in this video, go ahead, drop your boy a like, and if you want to be sure to catch more content just like this in the future, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I do upload. And as always, the only thing more valuable than your points is your money, and the only thing more valuable than your money is your time. But until next time, peace.